This is for the book lovers. Hi, I'm Nabwirae.
Hi, I'm Wachera.
Hi, I'm Marcella.
And welcome to the Bookeesh Banter. This is episode 2 of season 2. We hope you enjoy this episode.
And today we are talking about Nearly All Men in Lagos Are Mad by Damilare Kuku. Enjoy.
Yeah, basically this is a compilation of short stories, fictional, of the author giving reasons why the men in Lagos are mad. Very entertaining, very nice. Take us away.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the story that stuck with me, and that is the first story, which is about this lady who met with this man when they were really young, and then they ended up getting into a relationship, deciding to do life together, and then along the way they lost their jobs, and then around the same time that they lost their jobs, they got pregnant. So now they don't have jobs and they're pregnant, and then so the babe is the one who went now looking for a way to sustain the family. So she started a side hustle where she was selling Mahindi Choma. And during this time is where she met a man, a rich Udugu man, who every time he came, he kept tipping her huge amounts of money. And then hapo wakijuana, he was like, and what do you want? Like, tell me about your life. So she told him about the situation. This man offered this babe's husband work. So he's like, just tell him to send a CV, I'll give him work, which is what she did. But this man took so long before appearing CV. And then at the same time, because the man kept coming, the rich man kept coming to visit the babe, and this time he offered her, it was like, what do you desire in life? The baby's like, I desire to open a store. There's no store around me, so I want to open a store. So the man is like, for me to give you this money to open this store, and I will give you the money, come away, one weekend with me, one weekend only. And yeah, so the babe was very
Reluctant.
reluctant and insulted by this. So she went home, told the husband. The husband was aloof the whole time, was like, and I'm ignore, silent treatment, all these things. Eventually he forced her to go and do this, and then that is how this book starts. So let me read. This book starts by saying, one night you will calmly put a knife to your husband's penis and promise to cut it off. It will scare him so much that the next day he will call his family members for a meeting in the house. He will not call your family members, but you will not care. You won't need them. So this man called his family to report her for this trying to cut his member off. But it is because she had reached to a point where she's like, I am doing so much for this household and I'm not seeing any effort from you. I have come with a job proposition, you're not doing anything about it. I have done what you asked me to do, which is a weekend with this man. And then after I come back, you're resentful towards me. So she was very bitter about it, and that is how now she came to this point. And then the man called his family, I want to come at it, because he's the last born of, I think, 5 or 4 sisters. So amezoea tu kukua coddled, so he's not ready to actually have a family. So he thought his family is going to be on his side. But this babe was like, nah, I'm gonna I'll tell your family what you're about. So kwa hii setting, she was like, Mimi, by the way, this man, he's the one who forced me to do this. And then now he's resentful towards me. I got the money, and he had the audacity, instead of us growing a business together, he's like, no, buy me an expensive watch, move us to an expensive house. So that was very cringe. So that's a story that really ilinikasirisha sana, because this man ako tu just living his life, and then once this babe keeps on sacrificing, he does nothing. Like
Just a couch potato.
Yeah, he's a couch potato. So that was very annoying. So
Yeah.
I don't know, should we rate this book entirely or story by story? Because I feel like we should rate it story by story. What do you guys think?
I think so. I feel like we can do both. As a whole, I'd give the book like a 4.5, because I feel like it's really well done, well written. Like, she gets her point across in very few words. As a story, and especially it being the first story, I'd also give it like a 4.75, because it really does get your attention. You want to keep going. And I think for me personally, I didn't know it was short stories until I went to the next one, and I'm like, wait, what? You are not continuing, because how it starts, how it ends, it really has your attention until you realize, wait, so we are done with these characters and these people. Yeah, so she executed it very well. I think also the choosing of this as a first story was very smart of her. Yeah, I'd give this one a 4.75.
Very nice. What about you?
I think for me, 4. It's nicely written. The storyline is good.
The book or the story?
The story is good. Um, it's. I think this is one story that I think the man is actually mad. Majority of the stories here, they're just like normal stories of people doing normal stuff. Yeah, but this one for sure, he's a madman.
100%.
For just for just
he's mad, he's lazy, he's
lazy.
entitled.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So for the actual book, I would rate just 4, really, because some of the stories ziko too, in my opinion. Yes, but it's a well-written book. Yes, and I wanted to add onto your point about also the man asking, going to the extent of even asking, "Is Kitan my child?" And that was really bad. Like, why are you asking your wife after you've
After
made
you
her?
literally pimped
Yeah,
her
you've
out.
pimped her out. You know,
He was a very strange man. He was
Yeah.
a madman.
lazy man at that.
Very lazy
Yes.
man, yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'd rate the book, I want to say a 4.5. The entire book, very entertaining, yeah, very well written and very entertaining. I feel like all stories had that thing that's really what we stand out about it, so I like that a lot. This particular story, I loved it so much, so I'm gonna give it a 4.8 because it's my favorite story.
And the whole book.
Yeah, in the whole book. Yeah, so we have decidedly agree that this man is very, very mad.
Very mad.
Yes, but let's talk about
Unanimously.
like the things that maybe triggered you and the things that you are very proud of this woman for doing.
I think she's a go-getter because she was really like, she didn't sit in the laziness that her hubby created. She kept pushing, she kept trying, like regardless of the fact that she was in corporate. Right now, she just made do with what she had and made a business. She was also very honest because even the first time like the rich man came through, she was like, yeah, this is more than I'm charging, this is your change. So it was him to explain like, no, keep change and everything, even in her marriage, because she didn't have to tell her hubby that this guy is trying to pursue me and with this type of deal, because the guy was like, I like you. And I can't remember if he was also married as well, but he was like, I like you and I acknowledge you're married, but me, I like you, and I'd like this one night and everything. And she took this information and went like you'd expect in a healthy marriage to discuss such things with the husband, which is essentially what she did. It's just that the guy was money-minded in the worst way. He was just thinking, what can I get from
Gain
this?
from
Yeah,
this, yeah.
regardless of what my wife has to do. So yeah, she was very upright. Everything that irked me about this book was the man. He was the problem from the beginning to the end. He was never creating solutions. The wife pushes him to get a job, gets connections for him. He doesn't care. He just wants softness. And also he's those people who have a victim mindset.
Mentality.
Yeah, even that's what he was trying to pull, calling his family, which is the babe's in-laws, to like, look, she's trying to cut off, my member. She's trying to, my wife wants to kill me and finish me type of things. And wewe ndio uko na makosa.
Also, I remember the part where initially before like when they both lost their jobs, they tried to make ends meet. This guy used to send this babe to their uncle, the pervert uncle who was just had sana to go and ask for money because I think this man just knew
He's lazy.
He's lazy and he knows this uncle is gonna give them money because it's just yeah. You, or did you?
What did I like about the story? What did I like about the story? Indeed, I liked this woman, Kabisa, 100%. And power to women, because we cannot just sit around because the society is not even, it's cruel to us, So I think I like her. I like her resilience. I like that she held her family. I like also that she actually told this guy that, hey, me, I don't wanna, I don't wanna. In her mind, she was like, I don't want to cheat on my husband, right?
Yeah.
That also speaks a lot about who she is as a person.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I loved everything about the woman. The story is well written. But what really bored me, really obviously, is the man, because
Yeah, he was just everything.
because imagine siwezi kuwa naleta chakula, mimi ndo napeleka watoto shule, me, I'm the one who's when we are down, I'm the one who's lifting you up.
Yeah, and even
also,
in his lack of a job, he didn't offer to help with the baby.
Exactly.
Okay, not baby, like child.
Yeah.
like help, because this child after atoke shule, he used to stay there with the
That's
mom
it.
at the business, and this
Yeah.
guy is just chilling in the house. Like
Imagine.
Going out with
he was
friends.
so unresourceful, like
Yeah.
just yuck, a madman.
You know, very mad man.
I
Yes.
think
Madman.
for me, it's the same thing that you guys have said. The babe was very focused. Maternal instincts really kick in, za mwanaume haziko kick in. And then she also, there's a part she says her child will never go to a day school, public school. And this man is like, no, you have to save money. It's like,
No, he was like, if me I went to a public school, why can't? It's like,
and look how I turned out.
Yeah.
Look how you turned out.
You know.
it's like why would you do that?
Yeah.
His thinking was just very
Off.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very odd.
Madness.
So, madness, pure madness. I loved how it ended because eventually she took back her power. She's like, leave my house. And we are not told that it happened, but I really hope that she met with the rich man because the rich man was like, I have nimezoea ku negotiate. This is what I do for a living, so I'm used to it. That is why I approached this. The way I approached it, but in another life, maybe it would have been something.
Yeah.
So that is why I took this approach. So I really hope maybe they end up together or whatever. She deserves it, man. She really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she does. Yeah.
So who's gonna take us next? Their favorite story.
Let me just take the next.
Okay.
So this story is called I Knew You, and I'm gonna give a synopsis. Oh, I'll also read like a line first. So it just starts with some things are easier to have than to hold on to, and that one will build like into what the story is about. So this guy called Sadiq, he's like a musician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
so
in a
he
band.
sings. Yeah, he sings in a band, in a certain club or something, and for a living. Ideally, generally, as the book continues, you realize that he constantly says, or he's the one who's actually narrating. He constantly says about love, and I mean, yeah, he's cool with love and relationship, but giving out his last name, that's where he draws the line. You know, the concept of marriage for him is just,
I know.
yeah, let's not discuss that for him. However, so when he's doing a concert on this day, particular day, this babe and her babes come, and then he immediately likes her. Like, it's like love at first sight because she's so bubbly and what. And because of this, he notices her, and now all of the songs are about to impress, you know, he was singing to impress the babe. So at the end of the show, they meet up, and then, you know, that's where they make the first contact, they make out, and then he's like, oh yeah, you know, like, this can be something, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward, they actually get into a relationship for sure, right? And then, Bado too, like they're not talking about marriage. You know, it's just,
It's fresh in
we're just
here.
moving. And for him, he even says it, like he likes winging it. So he just wants to see where this goes. The conversation of marriage, no. But where the story acts or shifts is when they go to see the family. I think the first time they meet the family of the lady, right? And it's an event. It's not that they are going to see the parents or anything. They were just going for an event. So someone prompts, you know, like, when will you marry our baby, you know? And I think they did not answer, right? Or what happened? I cannot remember. But yeah, they did not answer. They did not communicate. So when they went home, you know, that thing always stays with you as a lady. So it stayed with her. And then one time she's just asking him, you know, like, Meg, it's easy to say I love you. They're just 3 little words. Like, why are you not saying them? Like, I have noticed I've been saying it, Sana. Anyway, later they also go to another family event as the book ends, as the story ends. And I think it's an auntie who asks loudly, hey, when are you intending to marry this babe? And everybody just goes quiet. And so in those silence, in those 3 minutes of silence, she also asks, so yeah, for sure, dude, utanioa lini? And so now he has to sit with that silence and whatnot. But after those silent minutes, she says, hey, listen, once you go for your trip tomorrow, and I think they were going for tour.
Sorry, she actually proposed, like she was like,
oh yeah, will you
his
marry
name,
me?
will you marry me?
Yeah.
That's when he was silent.
Ah, yeah, okay. So now she says at the end of the story, ati, by the way, kesho ukienda your tour, the music tour, you just go and don't even come back. And you know, he's stunned. He's like, just because of a ring, you know. And so now he says, for sure, he loved the babe, but he's still not signing up for marriage. No ring, like that's it. But he feels bad that he lost her. And so I think that's exactly why it begins like that. Like some things, they're easier to let go than to hold on to. Yeah, so that's the basic storyline. So yeah, like how do I rate the story? For me, maybe 3.9. And why? I don't know, just like that. Because what did I like about the story? I think we can just proceed like that. Rate what you like, what you didn't like. What I liked about the story is it was written in first person, right? Was it first person? No, Sadiq is the one who's explaining. I like that he was the one who was explaining because now you can see his thought process and why he's thinking like that. And I liked the babe because even after 2 kids, she was like, you know what, by the way, I cannot do this anymore. So let me just go. Let me, you just do your thing and that's cool. And what I didn't like about the story, ideally, I don't think I did not like the story, really. Sadiq was clear, like in his explanation, was this is not something I want. And that's,
He wasn't.
like, from the get-go, he said story of marriage, he's not
He
into
never said it directly to her.
Oh,
It
no,
was
no, no,
all
he
his
never said
thoughts
it.
that he
Yes.
had in his head.
Yes,
now
yes,
you see,
yes.
for her, she never
She
knew.
doesn't know, yeah. So it was a bit manipulative, I think.
Yeah, even where his fears were coming from, she never knew exactly because he
Why?
never
Yeah, he
explained
never
it. Yeah,
communicated.
all these things were. I think when somebody is narrating a story, we're in their head and they're talking.
Yeah.
So sometimes
us, we can understand, but the
her, she
characters, they
doesn't.
don't
Yeah.
know.
So even
Yeah.
the explanation of the way the dad abandoned them
mom-
because he
actually,
came
the mom
came from
died.
and he came from a one-night stand and everything. So these were the fears that he had. His thinking was marriage ruins relationships. He never sat down to have the difficult conversation of this is
Yeah.
where I'm coming from. So now the babe was just like, because when she asked direct questions, he never said where he was coming from. So
Yeah.
it seemed like he was giving and I'm chocha too. Like, yeah, soon.
Let's
Because
just-
I think
yeah.
there's a time he said soon. When she asked, when are we going to get, are we going to
Just
do
so that
this?
we
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
talking
And he was
about
like,
this.
soon. And
Yeah.
all these things. Even his friends, his bandmates, all these people are like, yo, when are you doing this? Yeah. So he just kept, like, anamvuta
And
too.
I'm
Like,
string
yeah,
along.
he's stringing her along the whole time.
Yeah.
He was never honest with her at all. Yeah.
You can proceed.
Yeah,
So
tell
now,
us.
Yeah. My rating would be like a 4.25. I like how he explained his thought process where he
Yeah.
didn't villainize her. He was very much aware because he told it from his perspective and he was able to like clearly explain how they built their relationship, how it was a mutual feeling on both sides and all these things. So I really loved and appreciated that. I also loved and appreciated that even with as much pressure that he was getting from anybody, he didn't propose from pressure.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that because then they start guilt tripping you like, I didn't want to, you made me this. At least he stuck to his guns. He's wrong, but he stuck to his guns. He stringed her along, but he didn't do anything from a place of pressure. He needs to go to therapy and heal, but at least he freed her eventually. I think currently, how the book ends, he's living from a point of delusion because he's of the belief that why would you end a relationship and we have 2 kids just because of marriage? I feel like if somebody sees marriage as such a big deal, respect it. And if you can't meet them hapo kwa barabara yao, ondoka silently
Mapema.
and earlier on, please,
Yeah.
because I've been together what, like 6+
Couple of
years.
years, yeah.
Don't waste my 6 years here. Just string me along with stories, knowing this is something that you'd never want, and you're not taking measures to like heal yourself or walk through your trauma. So with the babe, I also appreciate that eventually, like also for her, it's understandable that it took her a while, but eventually she was like, you know what,
Yeah,
you're not
this
gonna
is
give
not
me
it.
this.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Yeah. So yeah.
Goodbye.
I think for me it's more or less the same. Rating, I'd give it a 4. It's a very well written book from Sadiq's POV, and what you said about being in his head, like you were in his head, kabisa. You felt like
Yeah. The
I
thought
am-
process.
Yeah.
I am Sadiq. I'm experiencing the inner things that he has to struggle with, yeah, which was really well written, and you could understand where he was coming from. I think the only thing we can fault him for was that not
Communication.
communicating.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is the only thing that he fell short. But otherwise, Very, very, very nice. I don't think he's mad. I just
Yeah.
think
Yeah, he's just a normal
he
guy.
needs therapy.
He needs therapy, he needs to heal.
Yeah, he needs to heal.
Yeah.
I feel like majority of men out here they are like Sadiq, the same personality, the same guy. They don't want this marriage thing, right?
No, I feel like
Majority of the
guys are on like polar opposites. There's the marriage people who are marriage.
Yeah,
And
oriented.
then now they try to take the anti-marriage and pull her the same way Sadiq was trying to get a marriage to. It's like just find each other like this
You
and
know?
then don't stress each other out here. But I feel like things with trauma, especially coming from his, is clearly childhood trauma.
Yeah.
You have to face it head on and don't expect your partner to know if you're never gonna share with them. Yeah, especially because this babe was coming from like polar opposite of like happy parents who've been happy and married for years while they were PDA still, and this guy is like, what?
He got a culture shock.
Yeah, he was like, oh, this happened.
They
and
even
these are
make
your
out. Is it make
parents.
out?
Yeah, they made up in
Yeah.
front of him, and he's like, okay.
to him, marriage is great.
Yeah.
To her, it's going to bring
Bring
them
you together.
Yeah. Marriage kills love.
Yeah, as per Sadiq.
As per Sadiq, for sure.
Yeah, so just communicate, man.
Yeah, communication, like, because it's such a big chunk of any relationship, like even friendships.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
My
right,
book, my
your
story.
book.
My story is, she started with the first, I'm going to the last, and it's called Independence Day. So to give a bit of a synopsis, it's about, let me just read the first sentence. On what you would ordinarily consider a perfect day, you run into the man who raped you. So yeah, so there's that. So basically it's following the babe. Yeah, it's following the babe. And this babe in this story, she's like, she's a mom now, she has a baby, and she's very active in like her kids' school life. So like Independence Day for them is like any other country's Independence Day, but now in their school, it was now like a cultural day. So she was pumped, mom, active. She has another, as would be expected, another mom friend. So she arrives, it's the actual day, and then she sees this guy that is basically, as she said, her rapist. But her rapist is standing next to her mom friend. So she's like, wait, what? So she's like trying to put two and two together. She's seeing now similarities like body-wise between the child and the father, and the child is actually in the same class with her son. That's something else that tied these two moms together. So she's like, what is going on? So now they take us like years back, where she lost her mom young, so she was the firstborn, and then she had like a younger brother, and then she was in uni or had a job or something of the sort. Anyways, like she had a job. She was at home chilling, and then it was a holiday. She's like, it happened in the anniversary. This was also the Independence Day, so she was at home, and then her aunt was like trying to give her errands, or like, come help me at my store. So she wasn't feeling that vibe. She was like, yeah, no. So she's like, there's this guy who'd been wanting her, but like she just kept saying, no, she doesn't want a relationship per se, but they'd met here and there. So she texts him, she's like, hey, I'm free today, are you? He's like, yeah, I'm also free. He's like, we should do something. So he's like, yeah, let's have like a meal up with like a joint next to where you live. She's like, bet. So she gets ready and everything, and then now the guy is a bit late, but eventually he comes, he picks her up. The traffic is as insane as ours. So she was of the mindset that they're just gonna be going up Ivo, but they pita the place. She's like, hey, Okwani. He's like, yeah, my friend is having a party, yada, 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 so let's just go for brief, just check in, check out. So she's like, okay, fine, sure, no problem. So he's like, yeah, we're just gonna be there 5 minutes. She's like, of course not. So in her head, mentally, she gave it like an hour. So they stayed in traffic for 2 hours already, so they're losing time. Because at this point, she also had like a curfew with her aunt. So she's also, they've lost time in traffic. So they get there. She says hi to the people. They are older. Yeah. So her job was like part-time because she was like just about to join uni. and then this guy was in uni with like the other friends. So the uni people are nice, like, you know, those friends were just like, oh hi, how are you? Like they welcome you to the group. So she was having a good time, but immediately it clocked an hour. She's like, we have
We need
to
to
go.
leave, yeah.
And then that guy came, give her a drink. So it was like a sweet drink. She's not really big on like alcohol and anything, but he clearly spiked it, so she drank it quickly. The next thing, she's feeling woozy and everything. She's like, hey, what's going on? She's in and out of it. So she wakes up, she's on her bed, this guy is on top of her, and the first thing, he slaps her. She's like, excuse me, what is happening? So she's weak. She doesn't have the energy. This man is slapping her for no reason. She's confused. The next thing, she's like seeing him like pull his pants down. He's lifting her dress up. She's like, hey, what's going on? So she really wants to, but she's the drugs and everything. She doesn't have the willpower. So this guy, in long story short, ends up raping her. And because it was a party outside where she wanted to go, she didn't have the money to go back. So she had to ride back with him. And in the car, he had the audacity to say, yeah, I had to do that because you took so long to accept to be my girlfriend. So it's like, yeah, this is the consequence of your action, is basically what he was trying to say to her. So she's just feeling lost. The drugs have not worn out. She's feeling confused and everything. And by the time she got home, it's like just how she looks. Even the aunt said nothing. Like just from looking, you see someone and you're like, hey,
you've gone through something.
A lot. Yeah, so she gets home and she's like, she doesn't understand why this guy felt so entitled. Even started looking back, as I said, she'd met up with him a few times. She's like, the first time, we didn't eat anything. It was like a basic conversation. The second time, she had a Coke. The third time, she had a Coke and a meat pie. So she's like, so this guy raped me for 2 Cokes and a meat pie. So she swore to herself she will never drink Coke. She will never eat a meat pie. She started working with like a knife or tools. Like she was just ready to murder somebody. Yani just test me, eh? She just stayed ready. So, and she was very defensive. She stopped dating. She ended up becoming an architecture major. So they have like sasa tools za kazi. But now for her, it's tools of weapon. Yeah, so she was very defensive. She couldn't sleep more than 4 hours. She had so much PTSD. She trusted no man. And then she never spoke it out to anybody. I think that's something that wasn't said per se, but you see, like she never spoke about it to anybody. Now, 10 years or so later is when now she's seeing this man again, standing there. And yeah, as I said, she's super active in the school. It's Independence Day. She'd been told she's gonna make her speech. And yeah, during the speech, she's like, yeah, people should be free to just like follow their dreams and speak their hearts. And then she's like, yeah, that's why even for me, let me even read it. I loved how she said it. Oh my gosh. So she said, speaking of stories, I have one to tell. I apologize in advance because ideally I shouldn't tell you all this. But by a twist of fate, I find myself in an extraordinary situation. And then she pointed at him and called him by his name. She said, Charles Sulure. I'm now ready to talk about what you did to me. Charles, stop hiding behind your innocent wife and look at me when I'm talking to you. You don't want to talk again, eh? Charles, where are you going? I just want to talk. Why are you running? Because now he was clearly running. And she also said 16 years ago, a man dragged, beat and raped me. I couldn't talk about it for a long time, but I just saw him and I must talk. Yes, I really like that she publicly shamed him in front of people, in front of his wife, to just know that what you did wasn't right. And he can't even say he was young and dumb. He just had the entitlement over this babe's body. And actually, take it back, I think the babe actually spoke about it to one friend once, because during the period of time when she couldn't speak, this is the friend who used to give her sleeping pills. Yeah, this is a babe who used to give her sleeping pills, Ivo, through this friend. Mpaka she met like her now hubby, who's a sweet man. And because there's a place she told her, but I'm still damaged. And he's like, yeah, I don't care about that. Like, he walked with her in that journey. He didn't pressure her. He didn't anything. Yeah. I will give it like a 4.5. I really loved how it was executed. What are your thoughts on the story?
Yo, let me tell you. I loved how she stood up for herself, which is, I feel like, eventually freeing herself. I hope that after that she feels better.
Yeah.
She's able to like live her life after that. Because I really loved that part where she was like, because most victims, they carry the shame within themselves.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about it to other people. So wanajiekea tu and then they die with it. But this time she's like, not anymore.
Yeah.
It's time for you to face the consequences. And also I like that the man ran away because that was essentially him confirming that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
actually
It
happened.
actually happened because it could have gone either way. Angesimama tu akatai and then he said, she said. But yeah, that was very,
Yeah.
very,
He
very
felt that
well
kaibu. I
executed.
love that too.
Yeah.
I
Your
would-
rating?
Oh
My
yeah.
rating, this is a 4.45. Just because I gave my story a 4.5. Still, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna rate 4.5. I think it was a really good story. But I mean, the guy, I don't know, your entitlement was a little bit triggering as well
Yeah.
because of just general life stuff. But I liked the story. I liked how it was written. I liked this woman because she went through those phases of embarrassment also with herself. And at the end of the day, she shamed this man, which is something we're afraid to do.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I mean, how will I look like? Also, this is a school,
In front of her kid.
Yeah, in front of the kid and whatnot. And yes, maybe, you would sit down and think, maybe we should spare the kids. But no, they need to know.
Yeah, I
They
think
need
it's
to
very
know.
important.
Exactly, they
Just
need
learn
to know.
yourself,
Exactly.
consequences
And
for
this
your
happened.
actions.
And it is.
Yeah,
it
especially
happens.
because she had a son and he had a son.
Yes, yeah. So I think I loved the story. I loved that how it ended, and power to her, man.
Power to her.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like something I've noticed I like about the stories is the power we have to finish the story for ourselves, like to continue the story after that.
yes.
Because we have decided I'm going to conclude this story in a way that is satisfactory for me. So I like that I was not spoon-fed, that I am able to do that for myself, which is very satisfactory, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to imagine an ending. Yeah, but I really love. I would definitely say this man was particularly mad for me.
yeah.
He was definitely one
Very,
of the
very
mad
mad.
ones because what? And I think that's why they say when you give a chance to somebody who you have not been rejecting, but maybe like you were not interested then, and then finally, like after a while, you give them
not
a chance.
Yeah.
They're those ones who come now your vengeance of
Yeah.
because I've
Also, now
waited
you're
for
back.
6 months now. Even you, I'm gonna make you feel. Or those people who like they make everything tit for tat. Like I got you this, this, and this. Now you have to pay for this, this, and this, and then the payment is dictated in their terms. Because he was basically entitled to her body. Even when they were riding in the car, he was like, yeah, next time I'll be gentle. Like for him, he was moving with the mindset of,
You deserve
yeah, I've
it.
not done anything wrong. Yeah.
I'm entitled to this. This is what I deserve.
Yeah. And then he slapped her twice. It's like, shut up. He slapped her twice and then put his hand over her mouth, like, yeah, to silence her. He was just like moving mad.
This what I've remembered two things I want to talk about. One is today when I was walking, I was just on my phone. I don't know what I was doing, but this guy, I think he was a tout or something. I'm a matatu. So I'm walking, and then he's like, "Madam, niaje." I ignore him. Madam, niaje. At that time, Madam, niaje. So I look at him. So I was battling with it, like nisalimike, and then eventually nikasalimika. And then he was like, "Oh, ni vizuri, nilikuwa nangoja usisalimike." So it's like you can greet someone, but si lazima.
Yeah, it's not by force.
It's not by force,
Yeah.
which is something that happens a lot, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's that entitlement
It's that
because
entitlement that
why
men
you're
have.
assuming I'm even in that state of mind. Labda, you don't know what somebody's going
He's
through.
thinking, whatever.
Maybe they have like heavy things that they're thinking about you there with their greeting. Because sometimes
insisting.
you can even say poa. Oh, poa na uniangali. Mbona usmile?
there's
Mbona
always
you
gonna be
smile?
something.
There's always gonna be something.
Yeah.
Also, it's just also stuck in Niambie and it's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then sasa nimesahau the other thing. Oh my god. But let's continue. Maybe I remember.
It'll come to you. But yeah, basically like men just stay entitled. And I think as Marcella said, like some of the men are mad, some aren't so mad. Some I think some of the some of the things that the women in the book do to cover their men or cover their relationship, how it looks, is the madness of this book. Yeah, case in point, like there's the first lady, how pastors' wives are called. There's the first lady mama who like she went through great lengths to cover the embarrassment of their marriage to the society while she knew the truth.
Yeah.
So basically, I think she was covering her marriage, but at the same time, she was increasing the volume of her man's, empowering her man to aibisha her more, yeah. Because now he was like, oh, if I cheat here, you can cover me, and then if I do this one, it's like now he was going to extremes because this one will always cover my shame, yeah. So I think in that particular story, she was the one who was mad. There's also like the bearded story where it's basically as just beard of people getting married to people who are gay. But I'll say in this particular one, majority of the women did not know that their men were gay.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think that one goes both ways because like once you find out you are put in a group of community and you realize, oh, so many of these men are gay.
Actually gay.
Yeah, and then they say you just make your own, build yourself, do something for yourself. At least that one was a bit well balanced. I feel like, I mean, if you're gay, you just be gay loudly.
Yeah, but also in
The
Africa,
society,
like
society
in
doesn't.
Ghana, like recently when you are imprisoned for if you identify yourself as gay, you're imprisoned for like 3 years. If you're caught in the act for like 10 years. So it's not easy for people to come out. But I feel like what is not right is for you not to share
With your wife.
again, at the
Significant.
same time, you don't know who you can trust because unaweza ambia mtu alafu nao
Anakusell out.
Yeah, I think that's why even in this one they made it like such a tight knit community. Because as the babe, you are not told before for you to decide, oh, do I want, do I not want? It's like you're in the marriage, maybe a kid too in, then you're like, what?
Surprise.
The option of being single. No one was forcing you.
Yeah. But they stayed, and then they kept it like in the circle, So yeah, it has like interesting stories.
I remember the other thing I wanted to say is a video I saw somewhere where someone was saying a man was explaining where he thinks that they were trained to hate women, which was when they're young. Those people, oh, don't be a pussy, oh, don't cry like a girl, oh, don't be. So everything that was bad was associated
with women,
with being a
woman.
woman. So now you naturally, from when you're growing, you are a bit resentful, but you see this person as lower than because you're always being told to be lower than. And I feel like that is where it came from, which now goes back to parents of like if you are a boy parent, don't do that. Like don't keep comparing them to girls, and also the same treatment you're giving your girls give your boys. Teach your boys how to handle, take care of a household, all these things.
Yeah, and they can also show emotion because like they're usually so like boys don't cry, men don't cry. Like you know somebody goes through like big losses in life, you're like boys don't cry, like and then I feel like they say like there's pain that it can never be the same, even if we're siblings. Even if we're friends, like losing a parent, we won't experience it the same. So if you see like a man crying, you shouldn't be like, don't cry, or me, I lost my sijui dad or my mom.
Now you're comparing.
Yeah, it's not about you. Good for you, you are strong, but this is like be there for your friend or step aside. Like it's not the time or place to compare emotions. I feel like it's important to let people be. And that point of pussy, they say a pussy is actually stronger in what it goes through. Weakness should be correlated with like balls or something because those ones are weak.
Very.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Very
guys,
book.
yeah, it's so entertaining, such good reads. Yeah, maybe not for like a younger audience, but yeah, I'd advise definitely read it.
Recommend
It's a good one. Also like a fun one if you're looking to get back into books.
into reading for
Soma
sure.
pole pole, one story a day.
At a
Stuff like
time,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
thank you so
cheers.
much for watching
Toodles.
to the end, and see you on the next one. Bye.
Share.